What's up, guys? The other day I saw the music video for the BTS song Idol, and I thought, there's no way that this music video has any meaning, right? I mean, it looks like the graphic designers and the editors just gathered a whole bunch of shit and put it together in one video. I mean, at some point there were even giant animated versions of the BTS members. What the hell? All in all, it just looked like a fun random music video. But no, apparently there's an explanation video. So yeah, some people in the comments did mention that there's an explanation video, and now I'm very curious to see what you can even explain. Anyways, let's get into the video. Starting off with Jimin, you love to see it. So BTS Idol explained. Alright, surprise me.
BTS's new MV Idol is making everybody go nuts. So much things are going around, and of course there are
a lot of
attempts to decipher it or link it to previous theories.
Why would you want to look at that music video and decide to decipher it? I would be like, there's no way I can decipher anything here.
Rather than going into theories and unverified speculations, in today's video I will try to stay even more true to the MV and the lyrics itself. There will be mainly two parts. First, the lyric and MV dissection, and second, the Korean cultural references. So without further ado, let's go into the MV and lyric dissection. Okay,
so there's gonna be Korean culture stuff. I can see why he put in the title explained by a Korean, because he probably knows about all of those references.
Artist, idol, I don't care. RM is saying that he doesn't give a shit about what people
call him. That was pretty straightforward.
But one thing to notice is, when he's saying 아니면 또 다른 뭐라 해도, he comically dances to Psy's new face choreography. So apparently,
I didn't
he doesn't
even
care
notice
how many new faces he has. In the latter part of the MV, look at what the choreography looks like. You saw it, right? But let's try to chop this lyric into a different way again. Let's stop the lyrics at I don't, without the care. Not only does it sound exactly like Idol, connecting it with the second line that comes before it, it becomes like this. So if you try to chop the lyrics in that way, it would have the meaning of, whatever you choose to call me, aren't you going to call me an idol again? This is called a 답정너 situation in Korean, which
I didn't know that that line would be so deep.
Means you've already set your own answer inside your head anyways. So as you might know, in Korea, hip-hop artists or singers that are in idol groups are not taken seriously, and they're actually looked down upon.
Wait, really? Even though BTS is like one of the most popular groups in the world?
RM said that he doesn't care about what other people call him anymore. At the same time, he's trying to criticize these people that call them this and that, or maybe labeling them as idols.
Well shit, that's a long explanation for only like 4 words.
These lyrics are pretty self-explanatory. J-Hope is proud of whatever he is, and most importantly, he's free. He has no irony anymore of who he is because he's always just himself. But one thing we should focus here are the artifacts that have been sitting on the table since the beginning of the MV. On the table we see 2 things, a sailor ship and a globe. And now there's an airplane in the background. As J-Hope addresses in his song Airplane 2, the airplane, globe, and ship all represent their current status, the freedom they have now, and pride for global success/influence.
Oh, you know, it does make sense when you think about it, but obviously I would never realize something like that.
It's natural to have questions about what the drawings in the background actually mean.
See, when I saw that in the music video, I thought it was just fan art that they received by kids or something.
The drawings seem to be watched by many people and surveillance cameras, and the lyrics are talking about how haters are talking about BTS. Nobody but the members that drew the drawings themselves would actually know the true meaning behind the pictures, but relating to the lyrics, we can guess that it's something like a message towards haters.
So it was the members who drew those pictures? Is that actually how they draw, or did they purposefully draw in that style?
Maybe it's what BTS members think haters are like, or what they think haters might think of BTS themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure the haters think that they're fire-breathing dragons.
Haters might think of BTS themselves. Suga's
and round, smiling giant. What even is that?
drawing is pretty clear. A huge BT21 Shuki is crushing haters with his hands. It also has Ilsam, Ilpar, which are references from Deng, being the ultimate card pairs in the game's Hotta. The numbers could also mean their debut year 2013 when they started from the ground, but now in 2018 they are this big. But
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's hard to understand. He's drawn a kore, which means whale in Korean. Nobody but Jin will know the actual meaning of this, but to just speculate, kore is a slang for two meanings in Korean. First, a very powerful / rich person or group. It's a word used especially a lot in stock market terms. The second,
so people don't actually know what his drawing is.
Who knows, he might have been responding to the people chattering about this incident.
What incident is he talking about? What just happened here? Wait a minute. King size? You're telling me that Jin has to use king size? Is it actually true though? I mean, you can just see like a little gold packaging. Yeah, it does look pretty similar, but you can't really tell. Ursu? What does that even mean?
Ursu is a sound Koreans make when they're excited in traditional old.
Okay, well that answers it.
Jiwaja technically means a song that people sing when the nation is thriving or peaceful, but in short it's just another sound Koreans make when they're excited and to boost up the rhythm and good feelings.
Okay, so they're just trying to say that they're excited.
is basically a beat used in a specific Korean rhythm called 굿거리 장단.
What is this part even from? Like, is this footage from a music class in Korea or something?
And for the visuals used in this part, this is the Chinese character 사랑해, which means love. And in the latter part of the MV, there's also a part when Jungkook appears and the word 사랑 is actually written in Korean. In this scene, Jimin stands out among the whirlpool of BTS members.
You're telling me that even this has a meaning? He's just standing in the middle of a whole bunch of heads.
Which could imply that even though BTS is a group and all the members rotate around me, and a lot of people actually talk about us only in a set, nevertheless, I acknowledge my own existence and I stand out as a unique being. Thus, I love myself.
Really? Man, these explanations are very freaking thought out. I never knew that people actually analyzed every detail of the music video like that.
Face Off is a famous movie directed by famous movie director Oh Sam. In the movie, the main characters who are an FBI agent and a terrorist get to change their faces. As RM mentioned earlier about new faces, J-Hope is also referencing the movie to show that they can be called or changed into a totally different person. Like his next lyrics state, he can be sometimes a superstar or a superhero.
Okay, you know, that was a good line.
Suga, Jungkook, and V all say they have so many different people inside them, but they notice that they are all parts of themselves too. So they decide to accept.
Oh yeah, that one was kind of self-explanatory as well.
This lyric 고민보다는 그냥 달리네 is a reference from their song 고민보다 고, which has the message of YOLO.
Well, I haven't heard that song, so I wouldn't know.
어쩌고 저쩌고 basically means haters or people are talking shit about them, like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but obviously they don't care.
너나 잘하셔. These two lines are a form of sarcasm that only Koreans will understand.
Oh, really?
떠들어대 and 너 are both 반말, which is informal speech. But in the lyrics they attach 셔 and 하셔, which is a traditional form of honorific called 존댓말. So the sentence here is a mix of informal and honorific speech. Thus, sentences like 너나 잘하셔, 너나 잘하세요 would be criticizing or being sarcastic towards people who...
So they were making fun of the haters right there.
But one more thing to notice in the MV again is the bunny in the moon. This comes from a Korean mythology that a rabbit on the moon is making the medicine for immortality. Thus, the rabbit on the moon stands for prosperity and immortality in the Korean or East Asian culture.
Alright, another Korean reference I would never know of.
Definitely immortality, because there's a saying in Korean, 욕을 많이 먹으면 오래 산다. It means if you get cursed a lot, you live long. The lyrics of this part says people are saying all kinds of shit to BTS.
So they're just making BTS last even longer.
Regarding the amount of shit BTS received, they will have immortality and prosperity.
It's a freaking song for the haters. It looks like they're just saying that they don't give a shit about the haters in this song.
Just another fun thing. Rabbit in Korean is called tokki. And in this part, you can hear BTS singing.
Oh, it means rabbit. Right, a giant freaking shark. Does that mean anything?
A giant shark tries to attack BTS.
It does, of course.
And they keep on singing, "You can't stop me loving myself." They don't care about the fact that a big shark in the bag is trying to eat them up, but rather they enjoy the situation by saying,
huh.
Now onto the
okay, now that you look at it that way, it does make sense.
There are so many Korean traditional references in this MV. The traditional clothing hanbok, the Korean house kiwatjip, the tiger which stands for Korea, the moon rabbit, the Korean fan dance, the word love, and the traditional lion dance called 북청 사자노름.
You know, I wonder if the Koreans actually noticed all these references since, you know, it's about their culture, so yeah, they probably noticed.
This dance was done during the full moon, which has the meaning of warding off all bad luck or ghosts, and celebrating to bring prosperity and unity to the village. Furthermore, you can see that the choreographies were also affected by the traditional Korean dance moves like the head spinning dance, 상모 돌리기.
Oh shit, yo, what type of dance is that?
Rebutting the criticism of them being westernized and focusing more overseas. At the end of the MV, if you see very carefully, you can see that the globe has changed from South America to where you can see Korea.
Who the hell even noticed that?
Also, on a side note, you can see the sun rising in the beginning and lots of other times during the MV, along with the shining moon. And the sun also goes down at the end. The sun, paired up with the artifacts, the globe, and the sailboat, kind of remind you of the 해가 지지 않는 나라, the empire on which the sun never sets, which was a term to describe the Spanish or British Empire in the past when they had so many colonies all over the world.
They even have history lessons in their references?
Connected to the earlier references about the moon's prosperity and immortality, the sun also represents the fact that BTS is so global that their fandoms are everywhere around the world, which makes them a cultural superpower empire where the sun never sets. At the end of the MV...
Dang, with a goddamn sun, they explained all of that. And I was unaware about all the meaning behind their music videos.
Completely go down, which means despite the Love Yourself series might have come to an end, they still have so much time and new stuff to show us in the future.
Like, the sun not going all the way down means that? Who would have thought?
Lastly, as the director's comment, I think that the colorful, crazy, distracting style of the MV and the clothes they wore all stand for accepting every single side of you, promoting diversity, accepting differences throughout the world, ultimately by loving yourself.
I thought it was just about having fun. Alright, that was a good video. Okay, that was actually a great video by DKDKTV. As he mentioned, a lot of the references were part of Korean culture, so most people outside of Korea who listened to the song and watched the music video, yeah, they probably didn't understand what was going on. But as he mentioned, some dance moves, some of the clothes they were wearing, the rabbit on the moon, you know, stuff like that. I wonder if the Koreans who saw that actually understood the references. Because even if I knew about, for example, the rabbit on the moon, I'm not sure if I would like see the rabbit and be like, oh, the rabbit on the moon, immortality, and then connect all the dots. Yeah, you would have to actually like analyze and try to understand what's going on to see all of this stuff. And even little details like the sun, that one scene where they had all like the BTS heads, all those details are stuff that they actually thought about when making this music video because they have meaning. And then their lyrics also have a lot of meaning as well, but usually the stuff they were saying was very direct. Like by reading the lyrics, you can tell that it's a song where they're just trying to say that they don't actually give a shit about the haters. But then there's some very crazy details, like in the beginning where he mentioned that RM was saying I don't, but he kind of said it like idol, because eventually they're just gonna call him that again. I mean, yeah, they clearly put a lot of thoughts into what they say, what they do. And now thanks to this video, I did understand, you know, a couple references. I learned about some Korean culture as well. But something that I'm curious about is that everyone mentions that they have a storyline with their music videos, and that there's this thing called the Bangtan universe. I forgot. I have tried looking it up, but you know, I'm not exactly sure where to start with all of that. In fact, a couple hours ago, I did look up on YouTube the Bangtan universe. Apparently it's like a new app, and I saw a whole bunch of cartoon BTS members. I had no idea what the hell was even going on. Anyways, this was my first time ever actually looking at a BTS music video explanation. The guy did mention that there's always people trying to decipher and figure out the meaning behind everything. So I'm sure that all their music videos probably have an explanation. But anyways, thanks for watching.